Molly Clemans, and my speech is titled Creating the Change. Children who have grown up with a mentor have proven to show fewer depressive symptoms, greater acceptance by their peers, and higher scores overall, according to a 2012 study called The Role of Risk, conducted by Carla Herrera. This makes me wonder then, shouldn't it be our role as adults to help these children obtain these life skills and keep them out of trouble? Through my research and my conversations with the students with Design for Change about the people who they are surrounded in their lives, I have better been able to understand the role of a mentor in their lives and how beneficial it can be to children between ages 10 and 15. So we can see these effects through different studies conducted around the role of mentors in children's lives, both through research and personal experience with Design for Change. We can also apply this concept to utilitarianism and how mentors can benefit the society as a whole. But first, let's take a look at more of the positive effects that mentors can have on children. Based on a 2013 study conducted by the Center for Addiction and Mental Health and Big Brothers Big Sisters Canada, young girls with a steady mentor proved to have higher grades in school, and young boys proved to have less anxiety when it came to social situations. Both of these groups also showed confidence, which was very vital when it comes to children these age. They also were able to form better attitudes, and when children do not have good attitudes towards school or social situations, they're not able to thrive in these kinds of scenarios and environments. So this was very vital. And we learned through our work with Design for Change that simply providing children with a sense that someone cares can build their confidence. And I was able to witness this during our first week launching our Design for Change in St. Anthony Academy. Our first week we started talking about negative stereotypes that people have had about us and about the children. And when it was my turn to share, I was able to relate to a story that one of the young girls had. And I could see in her face that she kind of lit up when I mentioned her name. And even before, she was kind of reluctant to share her story, but afterwards, she was very eager to speak up and eager to have her voice heard. Even after class, she came up to me and introduced herself and made sure that I knew her name was Alexis. And she was very eager every time I come into class, and she hugs me and she talks about her day and just little things that she understands that I care, and that was very apparent in the way that I related to her on that level. So this experience has better helped me understand how beneficial mentors can be to kids, and by allowing these students to understand that they are not alone in their struggles and that people even from different backgrounds can have the same sort of relations. So in general, being a part of Design for Change has given me the opportunity to be a role model to these kids. Our presence in these schools allows us to relate to them and empower them to change their community just like we have been taught. So we're basically passing what we've learned from our role models down to and we're teaching them through our role as mentors to them. Since we are closer to age to these kids, we are able to relate to them easily because we're not a businessman coming in and saying, here's what you could be in 20 years. We're coming in and saying, if you graduate high school, you could go to college and you could have this much fun and learn all of these things and change the world this way. So our presence has kind of shown them how they can behave for the better and how they can shape their identity based on characteristics they see from us. So now let's take a look at the role of mentors from an ethical standpoint that demonstrates how the success of children can affect a society's overall well-being. In Michael Sandel's book, Justice, What's the Right Thing to Do, published in 2009, he describes utilitarianism as the highest principle of morality is to maximizing happiness. This basically means that society should adjust itself so that the most people are happy. This can be applied to the idea of role models because it relates to some statistics, actually. A study conducted in 8 states through the Public and Private Ventures research firm in 1995, students who had mentors were 46% less likely to use illegal drugs, 27% less likely to participate in underage drinking, and 52% less likely to drop out of school. Taking this into consideration, if the presence of a mentor will disallow students from partaking in illegal activities or harmful activities, then we're better in society as a whole. And I feel like this means it is our responsibility as adults to serve as mentors in order to raise a stronger and more confident generation. In conclusion, when a child has someone to look up to, they are able to form more valuable skills that will eventually form their identity. This has been demonstrated through research, Design for Change, and Michael Sandel's definition of utilitarianism. In the words of Kaya Johnson during our discussion conducted by John Cyber on February 10, 2014, the children are the future, and they need good people to look up to. I encourage you all to consider this next time you're interacting with youth, because you never know that they could be viewing you as a mentor, and your actions could shape who they are going to become. Thank you.
Yay!